Hello, Star Wars fans. Welcome to our spoiler review of episode 5 of the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney series. It begins with the third sister kneeling before Darth Vader, becoming Grand Inquisitor. But is she really? And what is actually for real in the series anyway by now? I mean, this is a spoiler review, so yes, she gets killed. The Grand Inquisitor gets killed, but they survive. So I think by now, plot twists are used in such a way that, yes, it's entertaining for the moment, but I think so much of the traditional values of Star Wars are becoming jeopardized. I'm not sure, like the whole series loses a little bit of its power, of its momentum. And I'm starting to get a little more disappointed, despite the fact that we saw some cool twists as well.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm also get disappointed about the series. I mean, after the third sister was killed by Vader, which wasn't a really smart move to try to attack him.
Yeah, what was her
Um,
end game? Without Obi-Wan, I mean, like the two of them maybe would have had a chance.
mhm.
Maybe Obi-Wan alone could have had a chance if we had gotten the real Obi-Wan. But she alone, I mean, apart from the fact that, any Star Wars fan, and I mean, this is for Star Wars fans, knows Vader's going to survive, Obi-Wan's going to survive, Leia's going to survive. So there's not that much at stake, when the third sister attacks Vader, nobody really saw like, oh, maybe she succeeds killing him,
Mhm.
So that's part of the problem. And then it wasn't even a very smart move,
Yeah.
even without the Grand Inquisitor being still alive. How does that work? I mean, they introduced this concept when they killed off Darth Maul, and they wanted to have him back for the animated series. And even in the animated series, I didn't think this was the best move. But still, I think it's still slightly different because it's an animated series. I mean, I think they're really well made, so I like to see them as canon, and I would like to take them serious. But now it becomes like everybody, or at least every dark side user, can just by sheer hate become alive when somebody pokes a lightsaber through their heart. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, we got Anakin surviving, but that's something, I think that's different. He was getting his legs cut off, his arms burned, and he gets severe burn wounds. But I think even with our technology, it's not completely unthinkable that he might survive. It would be tough, but it's not unthinkable. But like, the equivalent of a, I don't know, burning rod of, glowing iron poked through the heart. No.
I
Not so
believe
much.
a normal human won't survive it, and even not a Jedi. I mean, Qui-Gon died because of a stab in his stomach. He just fell to the ground, instant death. And
Yeah. And
here,
Qui-Gon was way cooler than the third sister.
yeah, and the third sister is stabbed by Vader with her saber in the heart, or at least in the chest. Yeah, and she there is nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of cheapens the whole lightsaber
Hmm.
thing in a way. And it's like, two people. I mean, even if we were willing to go along and say, okay, Darth Maul, who was a Sith, none of the two characters we're talking about is actually a really trained Sith. They may be evil, dark side, whatever, but even the original Grand Inquisitor was not, as far as we know, a trained Sith, and so was not the third sister. So Darth Maul, and he was like, maybe he was so exceptional that he could survive this. Even if we agree with that, in the animated series, then now everybody can do it. So it's not even a special feat anymore.
Yeah, I mean, in that episode, we saw Tala on that assault of the Imperials. She was shot and died. So I believe she wasn't even shot at a special body part, was she? I don't remember really.
I
Do you
don't remember
remember?
either. I mean, yes, of
Yeah.
course you can have blaster shots that are just that hit you a little bit and you don't die. I mean, we had this a couple of times. I mean, even in New Hope, I believe Luke or Leia, they got like a blaster shot and it didn't do too much. But I mean, it's like, by now it seems like I'm slightly reminded of Monty Python's famous fight from the Knights of the Holy Grail, where like, oh, it's just a flash one. Yeah, your arm is cut off. Doesn't matter. Just continue. It's like, hey, there's got to be some point where being hit by a lightsaber is dangerous. And if the
Yeah.
lightsaber to the heart isn't doing it, and if that's like a standard thing, I'm sure that wasn't, I mean, it just happened 2 times in a row. And so Vader would know that. Did he go like, yeah, I don't know, maybe she's not dead, it's okay? Or if that's the rule, why don't you, like, whenever you kill somebody, just to be sure, get a lightsaber through the brain or something like this? It's just like zombies or so.
It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, I mean, like with zombies, in some zombie movies, you have to smash the brain to finally kill them. But if that were the case, then I'd be sure somebody who is as knowledgeable in the Force as Vader would know about that, and he would have done that.
Yeah.
And perhaps it would have by now even been known to somebody like the Third Sister. So it would kind of turn the whole thing, if it's so common a thing,
Yeah, it gets
like,
a little bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with in actual modern in our world, I believe, if people want to be really sure somebody's dead, even if they shot them down, they shoot again in the brain. I guess that's what they do. I mean,
Yeah.
at least in the movies. I don't know from real life. But you've seen like thrillers like spy stories where they do that.
Yeah.
I guess they would do the same in Star Wars if that was such a common thing. So that annoys me a little bit. And also what annoys me a little bit is that this is still Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's not young Leia, but we see young Leia being way cooler than Obi-Wan Kenobi in a lot of scenes. So she saves the day. Obi-Wan goes like, yeah, I don't know. So
yeah, Obi-Wan is a little bit of a side character in the whole series.
He's a side character in his own series.
Yeah.
And he's not the coolest guy in his own series, and he should be. Like the Mandalorian was the coolest guy in the Mandalorian, and Boba Fett was the coolest guy in Boba Fett. There were other cool guys, sure, but he was not the least coolest,
Yeah.
And certainly not like an 8-year-old or 9-year-old or whatever she was, wasn't cooler.
Yeah, it gets a little bit weird, and what I still miss, and I'm coming to the point where I won't believe anymore that we get a good explanation how Obi-Wan gets back his force or his power, and I can't see a real development of Obi-Wan. I just can't see it. It's
No, he's not making like a big step. He gets these flashbacks, and he seems to have been so much cool. I mean, they actually do acknowledge the character. He was so much cooler 10 years ago, or how long ever the flashback scenes were.
Yeah.
Were they actually from the movies, or were they newly made? I think they were new.
I believe they were newly made. I mean, in that fighting scene, Anakin looked, for me at least, he looked way older in comparison to Obi-Wan. And
but Obi-Wan looked younger than he was.
Yeah,
so I think this was CGI. But the CGI didn't perhaps work so well on Anakin.
Yeah. Maybe if you're a Jedi Master, you won't age that fast compared
Yeah,
to
I
a
mean, look how
Padawan.
old the Emperor looks, you know?
Hmm. Ah, okay, yeah, that could be. Yeah, yeah, the dark side will make you older.
I
That's
guess it
true.
does. It does. But they have cookies, on the other
Yeah.
hand. Yeah, but I
Awesome.
mean, there was kind of, there's a couple of things that weren't so nice. There were a couple of cool scenes, however, and some meaningful scenes as well. So let's also talk about what was good. A minor scene that I liked a little bit was when Obi-Wan said, "Hey, I know Vader's gonna attack," and then there was this flashback scene,
Hmm.
and then they looked at him, and you felt like, "How do you know?" And he was like, "Yeah." Didn't say something, but it made this connection to what happened in the past.
Yeah,
Um,
that was
uh,
really cool.
it was I like that. Um, and then we have this reveal, which I also thought it was a cool idea, even though I didn't think it's played out so well. The third sister being a youngling, we figured that out already.
Hmm.
So if they were to try to subtly foreshadow it, it wasn't subtle enough for us guys anyway. But the fact that she was actually still, I'm not saying good, but that she kept her part of her secret agenda to kill Vader, that this was her plan. I think that was a cool idea.
Yeah.
So at the same time, while it was super cool as an idea, you know, she plays a really stupid act, and then we go like, what's her end game? Now she has the one chance to have like I mean, how many other Jedi or people who might actually have a chance against Vader are there around? So Kenobi says, "Hey, let's together defeat him," and she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna go alone."
Yeah, that was quite strange for me, too. I mean, we all know that she won't stand a chance against Vader, so I have no idea what was this actually all about. So
Yeah, I mean
wasn't.
that was I mean she knows about force sensing and stuff. I mean, I like Vader is like the best force user in the universe,
Mhm.
probably better than the Emperor. So even the idea of sneaking to him, that wasn't too clever an idea. And I said like, okay, does that have a realistic chance? I mean, of course, added to the fact that we know Vader survives and she isn't a thing in the New Hope, so that didn't get our hopes up, so to speak. But still, you know, not a very clever plan. I mean, Obi-Wan said, yeah, he'd be focused on me, but he wasn't even there. You know, I mean, focused on him in the transporter. Was that the idea?
I have no idea. I have really no
Yeah.
idea. I mean,
So, and
what? Yeah, you can talk. Sorry.
no, no, if you want to still want to say something about it, please go on.
Not about that. I wanted to say something about the holo thingy she found at the end. There's something which really interests me about Luke. I mean, she found that holo thingy um, where she gets revealed that there's Luke and Leia are. I believe it's a little spoiler that Luke and Leia are the kids of Anakin. Um, or at least I had the impression that she knows it now. I'm not sure what your impression is about that.
Yes, I think, and
Hmm.
what really annoyed me about this hologram message, I have to say, is Organa being an idiot. I mean,
Hmm.
like, you know, this is the super secret thing, and he even says, you know, we shouldn't be communicating about this. And you go like, did this guy not read Harry Potter? Can't he say something like, you know, the you know who is at the you know what place? You know, does he have to say Luke and Tatooine? I'm not sure he said Luke, but he definitely said Tatooine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
and you know, and I think he also revealed the he revealed something about Leia as well.
Yeah.
Like, can he be a little more subtle? I mean, it's like, um, like, hey, Obi-Wan, you know that mission you were on, and you know that thing you were supposed to do. I think, at that place where that is something, or I don't know.
Yeah, and what makes me really think about that scene is what will she do with that information? Will she go back to Vader and say, "Haha, look what I got here. I was just joking. Let's be friends again. Let's go to Tatooine." I mean,
Yeah, that would be really stupid. I mean,
yeah, that
Vader's not that stupid. Um, or will she try to get him? I don't know. Maybe she is going to be a danger for him.
yeah, but why?
Because
Why? It makes no sense for me now. She
yeah, well, the
wants to
whole thing
kill.
doesn't make too much
Yeah,
sense. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she wants to capture him and train him to make her own Jedi army to kill Vader, or maybe she wants to. I don't know what she wants. Apparently, we get this idea that also she is left alive through hate, so she's pretty much on the dark side, even though she wants to kill Vader.
yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't
Um,
know either. We will see.
Also, to be honest, I mean, her character get a whole lot more interesting thinking that she was one of those characters of these younglings, but still, I mean, I don't see any motivation that makes me. I mean, the original motivation to kill Vader was cool, but the way she goes about it, I'm not sure that makes any sense.
Hmm. Yeah,
I'm not sure what her plan was.
I have also actually no idea. And I also have no idea what she plans now. So,
Yeah, but I mean, what we would need for the series would be some kind of, you know, I think I said this in the beginning or indicated it. It's a bit like a series about nothing,
mhm,
you know.
mhm.
Like what are we supposed to worry about? Tala, who was like a mildly interesting character, is dead. That funny robot is dead. Okay, maybe they can repair him. I don't know about that. Um, there's not there's hardly any character I care about who is still sort of relevant,
Mhm.
or they are characters who basically have plot armor because we know they will survive.
Yeah,
Any character from episode 4 is kind of immortal. So I cannot worry about Obi-Wan. I can't worry about Leia. I can't worry about Luke. I can't worry even about them being able to kill Darth Vader.
yeah. It gets a little bit silly now. Um,
Yeah, and I think that's what they did much better in the prequels. Even though, um, I had my objections to the prequels, but looking back, they were actually much cooler than a lot of things that came later.
mhm,
And I
absolutely.
mean, we had cool characters like Darth Maul, but he died. Okay, well, there they started this business of reviving cool characters um, in the animated series, but they didn't bring him back for the big screen, at least, but we had also Qui-Gon Jinn, for example, who actually died and who was a pretty cool character I cared about. And it was a real shock when he died.
Mhm. Hmm.
They
Yeah.
did nothing like that. They did nothing like that because I also think, to be quite honest, like Qui-Gon Jinn had this air of wisdom. And I think he had this air of wisdom because despite making foolish decisions about Jar Jar Binks, um, George Lucas had this intuition about how to create this air of wisdom, or maybe even put some wisdom into it. I mean, there were some cool statements of Qui-Gon Jinn where you really could say, like, not the midichlorians bit so much, but some of the other statements. You had the feeling like this is somebody I can respect.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. And yeah, we have how I can explain it, like a power gap, I would say, between between those episodes now and the prequels. I mean, Qui-Gon was stabbed in his stomach, and died. Yeah, the third sister was stabbed in her chest and did not die. So,
Yeah,
hmm,
it's weird.
yeah.
Well, and also at this point, I'm kind of like almost at the end of the episode. I mean, they try to do this cliffhanger thing, but it's really not working for me. I'm really not like, okay, yeah, what is it supposed to do about Luke? Nothing. They can't do anything because Luke's gonna survive. Luke's gonna be fine.
Hmm.
And also Luke did not have any major adventures. We know that for sure. We could argue that yes, maybe Leia could have had that adventure, but I mean, unless they completely break canon, Luke had a boring life until he first met Obi-Wan. We know that for a fact. I mean, unless they go like, oh yeah, we're gonna involve him in an adventure and then he's gonna be mind wiped by the Force. I don't know how
I
far they're
have
gonna
also
go.
no idea. And I have,
That's it.
yeah, and what I really want to know is what a third sister will do with the information she got now.
It's probably another storyline
Yeah.
about Luke, maybe.
Hmm.
So she will go to Tatooine, or she will send somebody to Tatooine, and then maybe there's the final fight with Obi-Wan. So he has some end game fight,
Hmm.
I don't know, because I mean he can't have another. It would be really so silly to have him in another confrontation with Vader.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
So,
but still, the motivation of the third sister, if she hunts Obi-Wan, it will make no sense for me. I mean, she has
well,
she
she failed
hates
hunting Vader, so
Vader.
she's gonna hunt somebody else because I don't know, because of reasons.
Yeah. Hmm. We will
Yeah,
see.
it makes no sense. No, I
Hmm.
mean she should try to get, and she failed her chance to defeat Vader. She's not
Hmm.
gonna get close to him anymore, at least not on a surprise in a surprise way. Or maybe she tries to use that to get close to him again, and then he's gonna go like, yeah, okay, you're probably perfectly fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You tried to kill me last time, but I'm gonna turn my back to you and keep my guard down and not sense what you're doing.
It's just I have no
Yeah.
words for it.
There's no real
Yeah.
meaningful
Hmm.
motivation left.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no real meaningful question left.
Yeah.
I mean, you can wonder what she's doing, but you cannot wonder whether it's going to have any
Yeah.
effect.
Everything she could do now, in my opinion, will just leave more big question marks in the whole episode. I mean, why will she, or if supposing she will hunt Luke, why? She wants to hunt Vader. So uh, there is no real motivation and there's no sense in anything she could do now. And
I mean, she should have been dead at that point.
yeah.
At least let her die with some decency, I think, because the character was already dead to start with.
Hmm.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, there was this moment of something interesting, but it was completely in the wrong context because we knew it couldn't succeed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a cool twist, yes, maybe. But they're not playing it. They're not using it for anything,
Hmm.
and there are no stakes about anything, really. Because I mean, it's like when you travel back in time and you try to kill somebody who everybody already knows is alive. If you don't have like this, if you have this version of time travel where you can't change the past because it already happened, so to speak. That's like it. You're like,
Hmm.
okay, yeah, we can at best we can see how she fails.
Yeah, but there's no mm, tension anymore. There's
No, this is about nothing. It's
yeah.
it started to be about nothing. There's no nothing interesting. And the characters, even like Organa, he comes across like an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, Obi-Wan is an idiot. All the enemies are idiots. Vader's still cool, but that doesn't do anything in and
Yeah.
of itself.
There's nothing surprisingly happen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you have to make it about something.
Yeah, we will see. Maybe we will finally get our twist.
Another twist? Would there be one?
Obi-Wan will surprisingly get his force back by
Obi-Wan just played it dumb because he didn't want to take any new students, or I don't know.
Yeah, we will see. I mean, there's one episode left now of that season, and let's see how it turns out. So
Yeah, my hopes are not so high, to be honest, at this point.
Mine neither. Hope's gone.
And that's sad because I mean that was the series I looked most forward.
Yeah.
So, and I mean they did have cool characters in it, but they didn't have a story. They didn't have a real story.
Maybe
I mean,
the first part. Sorry to interrupt you, but I need to say that maybe that's why the next really Star Wars movie episode is A New Hope.
I love that. That's actually cool.
Okay.
let's finish with that. Yeah, that's really A New Hope. We need A New Hope.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Please share with us your thoughts, and if you think we're completely off or you thought this was an amazing episode, please let us know. And you have the right to your own opinion, and we are curious about your opinion. Or did we miss something? Or what are you still curious about? Thank you, and looking forward to see you in the next episode. And because we're going to do a lot more cool stuff hopefully here, please subscribe to the channel. We need some more subscribers. We need you. This is the way.
This is the way. May the force be with you.
Bye-bye and see you soon.
Bye.